Watch is on right now.
Let me start you with the same simple question. Did it just end tonight?
We now know who the Democratic nominee is going to be, and no one's going to dispute it, Keith.
NBC's Tim Russert there just after midnight on Wednesday morning. And Russert wasn't the only one who made that declaration. Take a look at the headlines, which appeared just a few hours ago. Toast, declared the New York Post. Obama cruises, Clinton clings, according to the LA Times. And here's how Time magazine summed it up this week. And the winner is... Well, there's a little asterisk there, but I'm not sure that anyone noticed it. All right, Cal Thomas, let's start with you. Is there something that's missing here, like letting voters decide, not journalists?
What a concept. You know, there's nothing wrong in an election based on exit polls and actual raw data from people who have really voted, projecting a winner. We do that all the time. All the networks do it, newspapers, wire services. It's quite something else before even the prospective nominee has declared victory for the media to declare victory. How about letting the process continue? I'm with Hillary Clinton on this. Let it move forward. Let the people vote. And there are plenty of things that can happen and have already happened in this campaign. Anything else can happen. I think it's irresponsible for the media to be declaring a winner when he doesn't have the delegates yet.
Patricia, do you think that the media actually has the power to sort of force this thing to an earlier close?
Well, I think they certainly have the power, and they have demonstrated their power to indicate where they think it's going and to go ahead and just declare somebody dead. I will say that the Hillary Clinton campaign came back and pushed back on NBC the next day with an email saying, why should we even keep you on our press plane if you think this is already over? I think that's a pretty good point.
They don't want to lose that perk, I'll bet.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, Jane, Obama has been accused by Hillary Clinton of being able to really play the press, you know, in essence, call his own shots and not be questioned as hard as she has been. Do you think that that's accurate? Is it fair, especially based on what we saw now in the headlines and on the shows?
Well, I think his ship has righted, and the media are back, you know, with him to this degree. I think Reverend Wright would be hard to argue. He got to dictate the message on that one. But now that she is not doing well, he just has to stand back. His surrogates and he are wisely not calling for her to leave. I mean, it is true that the math is certainly against her. But, you know, the morning shows the next morning, George Stephanopoulos quoted the headlines in the New York tabloids. Chris Cuomo, who happens to be the son of a former Democratic governor, was asking Howard Wolfson and saying, well, isn't it time for her to get out? Why isn't she getting out? I think it shows how inflated the media's sense of themselves is, that there's a difference between saying, hey, it don't look good, and why didn't your lady get the hell out of the way, which is pretty much what they've been saying.
You know, let me ask you this, because I'm wondering in the back of my mind if the media, you know, took the Clinton criticism that they were being too soft on Obama and then toughened him up, you know, roughed him up, got a little tougher after the Wright scandal, and then felt, okay, we've done it, you know, sort of we've made the show of being tough and fair, and now we can go back to where we really felt better.
Well, they really got hit. George Stephanopoulos and Charlie Gibson got hit hard in the lefty blogosphere for that debate with Obama, and so they think they all sort of quailed at the thought of doing that again. So yeah, I think they're going back to their true love, which is Obama. But I mean, Jane raises a good point about sort of the cult, as somebody called it, the cult of Tim Russert and all this power he has. I would just remind anybody who gets the urge to predict things in politics, that famous headline from 1948, Dewey beats Truman, that President Truman, after being reelected and proving the Chicago Tribune wrong, held up as a famous photograph, because look, as everybody says, it's way too early. I mean, among other things, you know, the plane could crash. I mean, who knows what could happen?
Oh, let's not bring that up.
The point is, you never know. Yeah. You just never know. That's why you check and double check, and more to the point, wait till after it happens to say it happened.
The media have always seen themselves as equal players. They've moved beyond that now, from kingmakers to kings. They think they are the ones to decide. That is extremely arrogant, and it is a contributing factor to why most of the public distrust the press less and less.
So how did we get there? Patricia, did we just not hold the media, like us, accountable enough, and so they just started feeling, okay, we can push the limits?
You know, I think there was one other factor going on here, and I experienced it myself Wednesday morning when you wake up to another Wednesday with no news story, and you're like, I cannot believe I have to say this thing is still going on and on and on. You'd love to have a news story, but the facts just don't support it, and I think they want to be writing news, not old news. It seems like old news that she's still in it, but she is. So, you know, I think reporters are just getting so itchy to just pull the trigger, and they just went ahead and did it.
Well, we are going to continue watching this story because we've got apparently a while to go because Hillary Clinton shows no sign of dropping out. Now it's time for